So, good morning, students. Today, I am going to start a very beautiful course named as Industrial Pollution. And this subject is related to industrial stream, and this is particularly related to mechanical engineering 8th semester. However, any students of any stream, whether art, science, commerce, can go through it. So, before starting, let me introduce myself. My name is Ashutosh Kumar, and I am working in Department of Mechanical Engineering, Motihari College of Engineering, Motihari. So as we all know that our country and the entire world is facing unprecedented challenges due to coronavirus, and these unprecedented challenges has never been seen before. But the human race, the mankind goes on. In past also, India and the entire world have faced numerous challenges, but collectively with human effort, we overcome all challenges. So in these difficult times of coronavirus, COVID-19, let us feel that or assume that our studies should not be affected, and let us start this beautiful course. And I hope you will enjoy this course. So let us discuss the syllabus. So in syllabus, we have 8 modules. The first module is introduction. The second module is pollution. The third is environmental impacts. Fourth one is air pollution. Fifth one is water pollution. Sixth one is noise pollution. Seventh one is solid waste management. And the eighth one is related to case study. Now let us discuss course outcomes. So first we have to understand what is the meaning of course outcome. So course outcomes means after successful completion of this course, a student will be able to CO1 course outcomes is known as CO, that is short form of course outcomes. So to understand the interaction of human to environment and its ecology, this is our first course outcomes. Then CO2 is to analyze the impact of power producing industries on environment. Now the third is to understand different kinds of pollution like air, water and noise pollution. And the fourth one is to understand and analyze the concept of solid waste management with respect to public health and their safety. Now, we also know that program outcomes. Program outcomes means after successful completion of 4 year of degree course in engineering, what are the expected outcomes? So there are 12 program outcomes. So course outcomes is related to a particular subject, whereas program outcome is related to a particular degree, like degree in mechanical engineering, degree in civil engineering. Now books to be referred, which is very important. So textbook, I am recommending SC Bhatia, Managing Industrial Pollution. I recommend HM Environment Pollution. I recommend chemistry by for environmental engineering by Sawyer. Then reference books you can go through Environmental Management by G.N. Pandey. Now module 1. We are going to start module 1, that is introduction. Now let us first understand what are the various definitions of environment. So the air, water, land in or on which people, animals and plant live. This is very simple definition of environment. So the air, water and land in or on which people, animals and plant live. Like we categorize animals, plants, like aquatic animals lives in water. We people, men, women, animals, we live on land. Now the second definition of environment is the sum total of all surroundings of a living organism, including natural forces and other living things which provide conditions for development and growth as well as danger and damage. This is the second definition. Now let us go through the third definition of environment. The environment is a natural world as a whole or in a particular geographical area, especially as affected by human activity. So our environment, we affect the environment. Now, how do humans affect the environment, which is very important. So every human activity has been affecting the environment for thousands of years from the time of our very earliest ancestors. So every human activity, whether it is agriculture, whether it is industry, whether it is production, whether it is electricity generation, every human activity, environment gets affected. So since Homo sapiens, that is human, first walked the earth, we have been modifying the environment around us through agriculture, travel, through urbanization and commercial network. So we modifying our environment for the benefit of the mankind, but at the same time benefit becomes hazard also. Now, at this point in Earth physical history, our impact on the environment is so substantial that scientists believe that the pristine nature, that is beautiful nature or ecosystem, untouched by human intervention, no longer exists. So we degraded our environment so much that the pristine nature has been degraded. Now, what are the 10 ways human impact the environment? So this is very important and we have to understand it. What are the 10 ways? So the first and very important is overpopulation. Overpopulation is the first ways human impact the environment. The second one is pollution, which is very, as we all know, pollution is the most hazardous and it is greatly affecting our environment. Third is global warming. Fourth is climate change. Fifth is genetic modification. Sixth is ocean acidification. Seventh is water pollution. Eighth is deforestation. Ninth is acid rain. And tenth is a ozone depletion. So let us discuss all 10 impacts of human on environment. And this is very, very important for subject point of view. So let us discuss. The first one is overpopulation. So the effect of overpopulation is quite severe, which one of the most severe being the degradation of environment. As we all know, the total world population at this time is 753 crores, that is 7.53 billion. And we all know that China and India accounts for majority of world population. China accounts for 18.5% of world population, whereas India accounts for 17.9% of world population. Also, US, Indonesia, and other countries, they are big countries, they are occupying the world, and their percentage share is shown as a pie chart. Now, how human affect the environment? How overpopulation affect the environment? So as we all know, human require space. So why space is required? So for farmland, space is required. For setting of industry, space is required. For making an apartment, space is required. For setting of any activity, space is required. So we people occupy a lot of space on this planet. Whether any industrial development, any technological development cannot be done without help of a space. So first and primary requirement is a space. So an increased population result in more clear cutting, resulting in severely damaged ecosystem. So when population grows on, we affect our ecosystem. So for creating a space, we cut the trees, and we all know trees are the only things which filter the air. And when there is less tree in the on the planet, the CO2 level will increase, and which carries the potential to damage every single organism on the earth. Now we have to understand what are the professions of more than 7 billion peoples on this planet. We have, this is very important because profession is also related to the pollution or the impact on the environment. So out of 7 billion peoples, 1.7 billion peoples are involved in a service sector. So let me introduce what service sector means. Like medical science or medical profession comes under service sector. Teaching profession comes under service sector. Insurance sector, banking services, all these are comes under software industry, all these comes under service sectors. So out of 7 billion population, 1.7 billion population is related to or they involve in a service sector. Now the 1.4 billion, next 1.4 billion population, they are involved in agriculture. As we know, all know that agriculture is the world oldest profession of mankind. So majority after service sector, majority of world population, the second majority of world population involved in a agriculture work. And for India, agriculture is the first profession, or you can say majority of Indians, more than 50% Indians involved in a agriculture. Now 800 million works industrial jobs, like they work in an industry, like we have several PSUs like power plant, electricity generation, we have industrial setup. So 800 million people around the globe involved in an industrial job. And 577 million people are older than 64, that is they are retired and they are not doing any job. And 430 millions are unemployed. And of course 400 billions are entrepreneurs, and the remaining 1.9 billion people are too young to work, and they are less than 15 years old, they cannot do any work, they are studying. So this of course is a additional information related to this course, but as a engineering graduate we should be aware of this. Now per day approx 3.5 to 3.7 lakh babies born in this planet, this is huge one. So per day, more than 35 lakh, 3.5 lakh to 3.7 lakh babies born on this planet. If we treat in India, so per day, approx 60 to 70,000 babies are born in India, which is highest across the globe. Now let us discuss the second one, which is very important. So the impact of human environment. The first one, as I earlier discussed, is overpopulation. The second one is pollution. So the basic definition of pollution is the introduction of contaminants into the natural environment that cause adverse change to the environment. It is nothing but introduction of contaminants into the natural environment that cause adverse change to the environment. And you know, pollution is so bad that till date 2.4 billion people do not have access to clean water sources. So this is huge one. So out of 7 billion population, 2.4 billion population do not have access to clean water. Can you imagine the impact of pollution? I am talking about water pollution. Now, air pollution has always accompanied civilizations. As we all know, we have Indus Valley civilization, Mesopotamia civilization, Chinese civilization. So air pollution always accompanied by civilization. What does it mean? So pollution started from prehistoric times when man created the first fires. As you all know, we are the ancestors of monkey. So monkey man, when the first created fire, so that was the first pollution. So this is very interesting, and it is also shown in the photographs. Now third one is global warming. So what does global warming means? So global warming means the gradual increase in the overall temperature of Earth atmosphere, generally attributed to the greenhouse effect caused by increased level of carbon dioxide, chlorofluorocarbon and other pollutants. What happens? CO2, as I earlier discussed, that we have less tree on this planet compared to past decades. So less carbon dioxide, more carbon dioxide is emitting to this planet, more CFC gases, that is chlorofluorocarbons and other pollutant entering the environment. So gradually the temperature of Earth atmosphere is increasing year by year. That is causing global warming. And also the global warming causes the third greatest impact on environment, which is very severe. Now impact of CO2 emission. The increase of CO2 emission has contributed to the planet's average temperature increasing almost a whole degree. This is very very phenomenal. So a whole degree planet average temperature has been increased due to global warming. So look at this graph. The red line is shown as a carbon dioxide line and the global temperature is shown in a curve. So can you see the red line is of course higher than the global temperature. What does it mean? So the moment there will be more emission of carbon dioxide, CO2 gases, if there will be more emission of CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, if there will be more pollutants enter into the environment, it clearly indicates that global temperature are rising. So we have to reduce the CO2 emission or carbon emission. Now the fourth one, which is very important, is climate change. So climate change is closely connected to historical development of industry and technology. As technology changes, as there is industrial development, then climate also changes. So a global temperature increase. And of course, the climate change is related to the global warming. So as global temperature increases, Earth weather pattern will drastically change. In Jan month this year, in 2020, of course, you can say very bad year in the history of mankind due to coronavirus. Or in this year, we have seen in January and March month very unseasonal rains we have seen. So what does it imply? Is it imply climate change? Yes, it is the effect of climate change. The intervention of human into the environment is so bad that the pattern of weather has been changed in past couple of decades. While some areas will experience longer growing seasons, other will become barren wasteland as water will deplete in vast area, turning one's floral region into deserts. So many parts of the world becomes desert due to climate change. So this is the fourth biggest impact of human on environment. Now climate change. So what are the effect of climate change? So the cost of adopting coastal areas to rising sea levels. So we all know when sea level will rise, what will happen? Our Mumbai, our economic capital Mumbai is situated in Arabian Sea area, the coast of Arabian Sea. So what will happen if sea level will rise? We have to shift the entire city. Can you imagine the cost of shifting? We cannot imagine. Now relocation of whole towns, which is very cumbersome. Then we have shrinking productivity of harvest, loss of capacity to work due to heat. Then prices of basic food stuff and consumer goods will rise, of course, if there will be climate change. Then what will happen if there will be climate change? Then goods prices will be more. Then fresh water will be in short supply in some areas. Disease will spread due to high temperature. Although in case of coronavirus, it has been said that there is link of temperature to virus, although it need to be verified. Now, examples and effects of climate change. We have seen hurricanes, we have seen drought, Greenland becoming barren lands, flood, rising sea level, shrinking glaciers, asthma and cancer. So these are the major effect of climate change on this environment. Now genetic modification, which is very, very important for biologists also, for medical professionals also. So what GMO means? So genetically modified organisms have been major contributor to the survival and prosperity of humans. GMO are selected breed crops or crops that have DNA directly implanted into it in order to give an advantage to the crop, whether that to be sustain colder temperature, require less water, or yield more product. We can see this chicken sizes or weight. So from 1957 to 2005, it becomes fat day by day, day by day. So what does it imply? It imply we have done it through genetic modification. The sizes are growing. Now we have seen so many vegetables, their sizes are more for increasing our demand, our population is increasing day by day. So to meet the population demand, our production, our agricultural production should be increased. So we introduced genetically modified organism. So organism include both, it may be vegetables, it may be animals, it may be plants. Now genetically manipulated crops, these are the few crops you can see. These are the Simla mirch, so these are the oranges, these are the corn. So these all are genetically modified, and that also affects our environment. Now these are the GMO. We can, if you want to go in detail, you can go through this slide. Now the sixth one is ocean acidification. Now ocean acidification caused when CO2 dissolve into the ocean bonding with seawater, creating carbonic acid. So when CO2, as you all know, the density of water and density of seawater is different. Density of seawater is more than the density of water. So ocean acidification or ocean acidification is caused when CO2 dissolve into the ocean bonding with seawater, creating carbonic acid. So CO2 dissolve into the ocean and it creates carbonic acid, and that is the cause of ocean acidification. So we all know that a lot of aquatic animals living in the ocean. So it affects all aquatic animals and our ecosystem is affected. Now the acid reduces the pH level in water, essentially changing the ocean acidity by 30% in last 200 years. It is very, very ironical to know that in last 30 years, the ocean acidity changed by 30%, which is a huge amount. So let us first understand what is pH. So the full form of pH is potential of hydrogen, and we all know water having 7 pH, and it is considered as a neutral. And the moment we go right side, the liquid or material or becomes alkaline, and if you go through left side, it becomes acidic. Like tomato is acidic, lemon is acidic, battery is acidic. At the same time, soap is alkaline, bleach is alkaline. So this is additional information, and engineering students should aware about this. Now let us go through water pollution. So water pollution is the contamination of water bodies, usually as a result of human activities. So water bodies include, for example, lakes, river, ocean, aquifer, and groundwater. So the contamination of lakes, river, oceans, aquifers, and groundwaters is a water pollution. Now every year, over 8 million tons of garbage dumped into the ocean, which is a huge one. Water pollution is the number one threat to all aquatic life and is leading cause of reduced biodiversity. So water pollution is the leading cause, and a lot of aquatic life, and as a result our ecosystem gets affected due to water pollution. Now sea animals, this is an additional information. These are the aquatic animals you can know, and this is of course a subject of biology, but as an engineering graduate we should aware about this. So starfish, seal, dolphin, jellyfish, crab, sail, octopus, whale, sea turtle, shark, lobster, fish, these are all aquatic animals. Now deforestation. So deforestation means deforestation clearance. It is also sometimes called clearance or clear cutting, or clearing is the removal of a forest or a stand of trees from land which is then converted to a non-forest use. So why we cut trees? Because as I earlier discussed, our requirement becoming more and more. We want more industries, we want more apartments, we are more residential areas. So we want more highways, we want more airports. So for the sake of urbanization, we cut the forest. And as a result, deforestation can involve conversion of forest land to farms, ranches, or urban use. So urban use, deforestation, you can look at these pictures. Now, impact of deforestation. So with trees being one of the largest producer of oxygen, clearly that is not a good thing for human and especially for the animal that call the forest home. So like we are living on our home. So for most of these animals, whether elephant, lion, monkey, panda, giraffe, so all animals, their home is a forest. So if we destroy the forest where they will live, and the entire ecosystem will be collapsed. So man is affecting the environment at a huge level. Now with millions of different species that live in forest, deforestation is a major threat to their survival and a big conservation issue. So it also a conservation issue. We have to conserve the animals, we have to conserve the lions. Otherwise, what will happen? The entire ecosystem will collapse, and the survival of human will be in danger. Now, Chipko Andolan. This is additional information. So, in Uttar Pradesh or in Uttarakhand earlier in 1970, the Chipko movement or Chipko Andolan was carried out. So it was a conservation movement in India. So due to urbanization, a lot of forest in past couple of decades has been cut out. So the Adivasi or local people, they started a movement that is called Chipko Andolan in 1970 of Uttarakhand. So that is a very good initiative from environment point of view. Now acid rain. So why there is acid rain? So when human burn coal, sulfur dioxide SO2 and nitrogen oxide NOx are released into the atmosphere, where they rise up and accumulate in the clouds until the clouds become saturated and rain acid, causing havoc on the ground beneath. So we burn coal, like in power plant, coal is burned to produce electricity. So due to burning of coal, sulfur dioxide SO2 and nitrogen oxide NOx are released into the atmosphere where they rise up. So what happened? All these pollutants, they like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide, they released and they go into atmosphere where they rise up and they accumulate in the clouds until the cloud becomes saturated and rain acid. So this is also a very major cause of impact of human on the environment. Now effect of acid rain. So elimination of large species of fish and aquatic animals. So so many fish and aquatic animals become extinct due to effect of acid rain. Damage of ecosystem. Our ecosystem also affected. Then trees that absorb the acid accumulate toxin that damage leaves and slowly kills large area of forest. Like tree, as we all know, tree absorb uh, acid and damage leaves and slowly kills large areas of forest. You can see these fish in this water. So due to acid rain, the entire fish on this pond has been they died due to acid rain. Now one of the major effect of acid rain is yellowing of Taj Mahal. You can see, look at this picture and these two pictures. So in first picture, the Taj Mahal light, the Taj Mahal color is something different, but in second picture, it becomes and look like yellow. So this is caused by acid rain. Now, as I discussed Taj Mahal, so Taj Mahal is a comes under seven wonders of world. So let us look at what are the seven wonders of world, which is very important and for competitive exam also they may ask you. So at the same, we have to cover engineering course, and at the same time we also go for competitive examination preparation. So let us look at some these few. So we have seven words, wonders of the world. The first one is Chichen Itza, Makkah Piku, Taj Mahal, Great Pyramid of Giza, Colosseum, and the Great Wall of China. These are the seven wonders of world. Now, the last one of human impact on environment is ozone depletion. As we all know, ozone is the formula of ozone is O3, oxygen is O2. So the ozone layer is renowned for its ability to absorb harmful ultraviolet rays that would otherwise be detrimental to the health of all walks of life. Without an ozone layer, walking outside home would be unbearable. So ozone layer is nothing but like we have seen onion. Onion, what happens? Some layers are there, three, four layers are there in onion. So like that in environment also, there are some layers. So there is ozone layers which prevent the coming of harmful radiation of sun, that is called ultraviolet radiation or ultraviolet rays. They are coming directly from sun. In the ozone layer absorbs them or filter out them, and the filtered rays coming into the earth surface. So with the impact of environment by human activity, ozone also deplete, and there is hole also in ozone layer. And it is very interesting to know that if ozone layer is not there in the environment, the human existence cannot be possible. Now, there is very good news that ozone layer is healing due to COVID-19. So we know the every day the positive cases of COVID-19 is growing. At the same time, Corona have positive effect. So there are three positive effects of coronavirus. The first is less vibration on Earth. So due to less industrial activities, less transportation, less aviation, less movement of vehicles or train. So the vibration on Earth becomes very less. So which is very important. Now ozone layer is healing. Due to corona effect, ozone layer is healing and Mother Earth is rebooting. These three are the major, you can say, positive effect of coronavirus or COVID-19. So of course rebooting is required because in past 30 years there was a mad race, but thanks to coronavirus, our, if you go through our point of view, so the effect is of very good. Now thank you all of you, and in our next video I will discuss the remaining syllabus, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you very much.